Every single time I fly into Singapore, which is pretty often, given my research fellowship there, I always have this moment of appreciation. Seriously, where else in the world can you arrive and actually feel calmer? The efficiency, the polite speed, the fact that you can get off a long-haul flight and beat through immigration faster than you can find your shoes. It's just magic. It's that precise efficiency, that sheer competence, that makes Singapore's commitment to its infrastructure so compelling for me, as someone who studies supply chain resilience. So you can imagine my excitement when they officially broke ground on the new Terminal 5. Or T5. We've been talking about this mega project for years, but with the pandemic, there was a pause, a moment of uncertainty. But seeing the plans get dusted off and the shovels hit the dirt? Man, it's a huge positive statement. It says Singapore isn't just recovering. It's aggressively planning for the next 50 years. I'm telling you, the global aviation world is a hyper-competitive space. Seoul, Hong Kong, even Dubai and Doha, they are all pouring billions into becoming the primary gateway to Asia. Singapore knows this. They know that to maintain their edge as the premier civil aviation hub of the region, they can't just renovate. They have to build something truly revolutionary. T5 is their ace in the hole, their strategic move to future-proof the entire country's air connectivity. And knowing Singapore, they're not going to cut corners. This thing is going to be a masterpiece of engineering and logistics. Okay, so let's get into the meat of it. What is T5? I've been reading up on all the latest designs and contracts. And caveat alert, this is all based on the public announcements and design plans as of late 2025. Things can always change, but what they have on the table right now is genuinely staggering. First, where is it? Well, T5 is being built in an area known as CHANGI East. If you've flown into Changi before and looked out the window on the far side, you'll know that's where the third runway and a lot of the less used military space was. They've basically taken over about 1,080 hectares of land, much of it reclaimed, to create the entire Changi East development. Now for the scale. Get this. The new T5 alone is planned to be larger than all four existing terminals, T1, T2, T3, and T4 combined. Seriously, I say combined. It's a mega terminal designed to handle around 50 million passengers annually in its first phase. To put that in perspective, Changi's current total capacity is about 90 million. When T5 is open, that bumps the airport's total capacity up to a colossal 140 million passengers per year. That will instantly make it one of the world's largest mega airports. It's not just a terminal. It's practically a new airport city. How will it connect to the existing terminals? Well, that's key to maintaining that signature Changi experience. The idea is for the entire airport, T1 through T5, to operate as a single integrated air hub. They are building high-speed underground connections, including a new automated people mover (APM) system, like the SkyTrain, which will shuttle passengers, bags, and baggage seamlessly between T5 and the other terminals. Particularly T2, you won't have to exit and re-enter, which is crucial for transfer traffic. And the MRT connectivity? This is where the long-term planning really shines. T5 will have its own dedicated ground transport center and an MRT interchange station. It's planned to connect to two major lines. Firstly, the Thomson East Coast Line extension, which will give a direct link to the city center, Gardens by the Bay, and the north. This is a massive improvement over the current connection. Secondly, the Cross Island Line to provide east-west connectivity to major regional hubs like Jurong Lake District and Punggol Digital District. So here's the most current question everyone asks. What's the actual progress? Is this just a blueprint, or is stuff actually happening? Remember, the project was paused in 2020 due to the pandemic, but work resumed in 2022. As of December 2025, the project is firmly in the heavy construction phase. We just had a big milestone back in May of this year, 2025, when Prime Minister Lawrence Wong officiated the groundbreaking ceremony. That's when things really kicked off. Since then, the contracts have been flying out. In June this year, Changi Airport Group awarded a huge contract, nearly $1 billion Singapore dollars, for the construction of the intra-terminal tunnels. These tunnels are critical for housing the APM, the baggage systems, and all the utilities that make a terminal of this size work. They're essentially building the entire underground nervous system right now. The main work is focused on the substructure, the foundations and basements for the main terminal building and the ground transport center. This substructure covers an area roughly the size of 140 football fields and is going up to 28 meters deep. This tells you that the massive, complex work is well underway. Land preparation and reclamation were completed years ago, so now we are building up, or rather, down and then up. When will we actually get to use it? The projection is for the first phase of T5 to be operational sometime in the mid-2030s. Yeah, I know that sounds far away. It's over a decade of construction. But that's the scale of this thing. They're building a complex, hyper-automated structure that can handle 50 million people a year, while keeping a fully operational major airport running right next door. You don't rush that. And look, the long construction timeline is also why the early investment is so key to long-term geopolitical stability. It locks in decades of economic activity and connectivity. What I'm most excited about, frankly, isn't the size, but the smart design. Being a frequent flyer, I'm always looking for less friction, right? T5 is being designed as a green Mark Platinum super low-energy building. They're aiming for net zero carbon operations, featuring one of the country's largest rooftop solar installations. They're incorporating lessons learned from the pandemic, too. T5 will be designed with flexibility in mind, so they can quickly partition it into smaller, self-sufficient sub-terminals if another global health crisis happens. Smart stuff like contactless check-in, AI-powered systems for baggage and aircraft turnaround, and full automation are being built in from day one to reduce reliance on manpower and maximize efficiency. It's a literal demonstration of how a country uses technology and infrastructure to overcome its natural constraint, size. So that's the scoop on T5. It's massive, it's underway, and it's a powerful symbol of Singapore's commitment to staying ahead of the curve. With its new, expanded capacity of 140 million passengers, Changi Airport is making a definitive statement. The future of the Asian air hub runs right through the Lion City. For me, that means easier connections, more routes, and more chances to fly in for my research. I'll keep you all updated as they cement this incredible piece of strategic infrastructure. Talk soon.